Joining us today on MRC TV is Phelim McAleer. You may remember him from FrackNation, several other movies he's done, but now he's working on a play about Ferguson. And here to talk about it with us this morning is Phelim. Phelim, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks. Good to be on.
First of all, Ferguson the play. Now, this is a bit of a divergence for you. I know you did a reading on it, on this play not that long ago. But moving from films into the theater scene and getting this play in New York City, tell me a bit about the decision to do Ferguson the play.
Well, I started reading the Ferguson grand jury testimony, which are all available. You can get them online. And I just realized this is an incredible story, and it's not the story that the media had told us. It's not what we were led to believe. No one says hands up, don't shoot. All the witnesses, many of the witnesses were minority, but they all tell a story that is very different from the mainstream media, very different from the activists, and it's a very interesting and compelling account, multiple eyewitness account of the last few hours of Michael Brown's life, told from all these different angles, one story taking up the other, another story following another. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So I was thinking someone's going to make a movie, do a play out of this, because this is gold dust. No one did, so I thought I should do it myself. So it's a verbatim play, which isn't particularly, the verbatim theater movement isn't particularly well known in America, but it's where you take actual court documents or actual testimony, and you only use that in the play and use that as your drama. You know, it can be difficult, but it's very, very compelling, because when we did the staged reading in Los Angeles, I could see people lean forward listening to every word, because they knew every word was true and every word had been uttered by a human being. So it brings a really intense audience to a play.
Now, I know your background's in documentaries, but this is an interesting thing, doing a play using verbatim from the jury testimony. Did it lend itself to being, I guess, dramatic, or I mean, from what I'm understanding from what you're telling me, there's no embellishments on this. It simply is as it was presented in the courtroom.
Oh yeah, lend itself to drama. It's unbelievable. I mean, you've got 20, 30 witnesses, right, who are literally saying, I saw Michael Brown walk to the corner, he went around the corner. Then you've got another witness saying, I saw him come around the corner. So you've got this dramatic build-up. And then you've also got witnesses talking about Darren Wilson's life that morning. He went to on a call, rescued a baby, did this, did that, did the other. Very, very dramatic, where these two people met in this fatal encounter, and what was before it. And what was before it was not what activists will tell you and what the media will tell you. Michael Brown was on a crime spree. He robbed a shop. After he robbed the shop, he walked down the middle of the road, down the yellow line of the road. He was on drugs. He attacked the police officer, according to multiple witnesses. You know, but there's so much more. Anyone who's, we had the reading here in Los Angeles, and you know, that was quite an adventure. But anyone who went to the reading said they learned about 12 things they didn't know, and they thought they knew the story well. I think that's why we had such a drama here with the reading in Los Angeles. 9 of the cast walked out during rehearsals because the truth didn't match the story they'd been told by the mainstream media. The truth didn't match the narrative they wanted to have, so they just couldn't handle the truth.
You know, how does this testimony really put forth almost a different tale than what we saw in the mainstream media in the coverage of the event?
Almost everything is completely different. You know, don't forget, no one of Michael Brown's friends admitted that he robbed a shop until it was the footage was released. You know, his friend who was with him would give all these stories. Never said we just come from robbing a shop. He never said we walked down the middle of a street, the middle of a road. He never said Michael attacked the police officer in his car. In his car, you know. There was no, everything just faded away. There was no hands up, don't shoot, nothing. So that's why I think why 9 members of the cast walked out. And I think that's why I want to bring this to New York, because I think everywhere deserves the truth. Ultimately, I want to bring it to Ferguson, Missouri as well. But I'm bringing it now to New York, especially after the disgraceful way that the cast treated the cast of Hamilton treated Vice President Mike Pence. I mean, the word went out there, we don't want conservatives in our theaters, we don't want them in our audiences, we don't want them anywhere around us, they're not welcome here. And, you know, I thought, well, if they're not welcome, I always like to go where I'm not welcome. because someone's trying to hide something.
And speaking of going where you're not welcome, some of the earlier reviews, it's funny, a lot of theater that gets praised, it's called provocative, but in your case, there were certain reviews, one on Mike.com, that called your play provocative, but they didn't mean it in a good way.
Oh, no, that's right. Kevin O'Keefe of Mike.com said it could reignite racial tensions and was dangerous. However, LA Weekly, they went to the actual reading of the play. They called it an incendiary night of theater. They called it riveting. LA Times, high praise as well. Of course it's riveting. It's the last hour told of someone's life, of a national figure, of an incident told from multiple eyewitness point of view. It's just, he walked down the street. It's just layer upon layer of truth upon truth. So let's see how the New York theatrical community reacts. I think the New York theatrical community needs to be told, you are not immune from the winds of change that are sweeping across this country. You cannot tell people like me what to do, what I'm allowed to do, where I'm allowed to put on a show, if I'm allowed to put on a show. I was going to use a bad word there, but whatever. I want to put this on, and I'm crowdfunding it too. Of course, the theatrical establishment won't help one bit. No, I'm not getting any grant from the Rockefeller Foundation or the Ford Foundation or NPR or for advancing the arts. None of this.
Well, actually, you're turning to the public. Actually, you have right. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so we're crowdfunding, and this is what we did with the LA show. So FergusonthePlay.com. We've just put it up last week already. We've got about $12,000. We need $48,000. But people are turning up. People are supporting because they want this to happen. They want to send a message. By the way, I've invited Vice President Mike Pence to come. I would love to see him there. If anyone out there has a word in the White House, I've sent the official invitation to the White House. Love to see him there. I mean, I want everyone to come, all sides. I want people. Not only people need to know the truth, they deserve to be told the truth.
Well, you said a lot of people that have seen the play say they leave and they've learned 12 different things about the case that they never knew before. What is the message that you think, if you can give us one thing that you hope people in the audience learn, what is it?
You cannot trust what the media tell you after a major incident like this. It's just, you cannot trust it. Not only did the media publish and print and broadcast accounts that were completely inaccurate. And that's, by the way, you can say there's nothing wrong with that. Somebody comes up to you and says, I was there, I saw it, and this is what happened. You're almost obliged to publish that. However, you're also obliged to check everything, right, as a journalist. People were telling them things happened that physically they could not have witnessed. I was in my apartment, I heard 2 shots, I went down, and I saw more shots. If you listen to the audio, it was very quick, shot. There's no way, no time that star witness had time to walk down the stairs. He could not have I walked down the stairs, came out, and I saw Michael Brown being executed on the ground with his hands up. It's very dramatic. But you said you heard the initial shots upstairs. That didn't happen. Other things, people said, I saw it from my window. They could not have seen something from that window. If the reporter had went up to the apartment, looked out the window and said, well, sorry, you could not have seen that. But they didn't. They ran this stuff completely unchecked because they loved the story. The story was too good to check. So I think people need to understand that the media in these incidents are not your friend. They're not even your information source. They're your disinformation source very often.
It's going to be next month in New York City. We wish you the best of luck. And people can visit the website for more information. Phelim McAleer, thanks for being with us.
No, thank you. All the best. Bye.